If you're from the UK or Ireland, I'm assuming you've already moved closer to the screen. If you're not from either of those places, everybody, the Vauxhall Nova. It's the first super mini that came from Vauxhall. It's produced between the years 1983 and 1993. Stats. This particular one is a 1990 1.3 SR vehicle, extremely low miles. And the eagle-eyed viewers among you might notice a few subtle differences. This has got Mark II or Phase 2 GSI body parts added to it, so that's side skirts, bumpers, spoiler, period correct parts, speedline wheels, gas coilovers, all types are good. So yeah, the engine, the original one, clue, it was 1.3. It produced a whopping, one of my favourite numbers, one of Tom at Dream Car's favourite numbers as well, that he describes as a mil for two, because it's 69. It produced 69 horsepower. What a number. But this one, we're Dream Cars, everybody. We don't do things by halves. Look at this. It's got a C20 engine in it, but it's not any C20 engine. It's fully built, another term that we like to say. It's balanced. It's got all of the big cams in it. It's got forged parts as well, some big old trumpets on the top, known as Gen V throttle bodies, and produces 235.8 horsepower. And you might notice I'm already quite excitable, because I was very lucky enough to drive this here, and it's sick. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, when these were out, this was the max power era. So I guess the only thing to do now, Scott, is to go for a cruise, isn't it? Scott, I need to go for a cruise. Come on. Welcome everybody to the internals of the Vauxhall Nova. Normally I talk about seating position and all that stuff. The seat is very comfortable. I'm bolstered very well in these retrimmed leather and Alcantara sporty seats. The pedals are in line with me, the steering wheel is not, but that doesn't matter, it's a Nova. I kick the gear knob with my knee because my legs are too long, but doesn't matter because it's a Nova. This is amazing. I'm so excited in here. What a car. Like when I was a kid, like all my dad's mates had Novas and all the normal max power stuff, Cosworths, Orions, Escorts, really cool stuff. Novas. But yeah, the Nova. So this one's got a C20 XE engine in it, otherwise known as the red top. That came in Vauxhall Cavaliers, Calibras, Astras, and out the box was around 150 horsepower. This one is 235.8 prancing ponies, and absolutely incredible. I cannot stop smiling. This is such a cool thing. So a bit about the Nova. They weren't really released as a motorsport car, but they became the motorsport car. In rallying, these were next level, and they'd be able to stick up with the big boys. For example, Colin McRae, his first rally car was a Vauxhall Nova. I believe he was 16 when he started driving that, and he did a rally, I think it was in Scotland, obviously because he's Scottish, and I think he finished 6th overall, and that was against Sierra Cosworths and big boy stuff like that, and he was pedaling a 1.3 Vauxhall Nova. Granted, if we cut to some footage, Scott, he was driving the absolute wheels off of it. but it just showed you how capable this chassis was. The wheels are so close to each corner, it weighs absolutely nothing. The crumple zone is literally your legs. So you put a bit of power in them, or if you can drive, these are just insane. Like, even driving it now, like the steering feel, the feedback I'm getting is like a modern car. Gas coilovers, speedline wheels, so the grip is, it has got grip considering it's got so much power in such a small car. The suspension rides really nice. Gas coilovers are like the period correct suspension you should have on something like this, and it's just set up really well. The brakes are really good as well, so it's obviously got discs at the front. This got a disc conversion at the back as well, so it's got a beam conversion with disc brakes. I think they're twin pot calipers on the back, and it's just got every ingredient to be an absolute ripper, and believe me, it is. I'm trying not to get too fizzy, but I am. You're worried about what I'm going to say now, aren't you? If I was a ship, I'd be full mast. It's just amazing. It's so good. But the main party piece, it's the noise, isn't it, Scott? It is. You've heard the tones. Francis Bourgeois has been waiting on the side of the road, waiting for some honks. This is so good. If you've watched any of our previous videos, I might hint now and then that I'm into rally stuff. Rally stuff. Rally boy, and the rally boy. I'm a rally boy through and through. All rally stuff is my thing. And yeah, as a kid, seeing these come through the woods, like absolute missiles, that's the only word I can say that's not going to upset the algorithms. And the sound of them as well, like, God, it's just so good. What a car. I can see why these are fetching such high money now. And I'll let you into a secret, I've only driven probably 3 of these in my lifetime. This is the best, by far. Each other one I've driven's been like modified and quite spicy, but this one is just next level. All the right parts. That engine at the front is an absolute masterpiece. The suspension setup, the geometry, seating position. Granted, I have too much length down here, but I'm kicking the gear knob now, and that's with my legs. Like we're in 5th, so to let off the clutch, I have to go through this gap here, which is fine. I don't care, because I'm driving a Nova with nearly 240 horsepower. Life is good. So drop a cog. Another one. We're back from the cruise, everybody, and what a cruise it has been. I cannot stop smiling. This thing has got so much character. It's just right, stop. The scores. Okay, appearance, 8 out of 10. This, like, it's mind-boggling that we're doing this for a Nova, but the styling is so timeless. I mean, just little factory modifications like the GSI parts, but these boxy wings, boxy arches, are factory, and it's just so on the money. It's so, it's just simple but effective. Like, I'm getting gushy. I think it just looks mega. Me and Scott were saying off camera, like, it's aged so well. In Scott's words, it's like a fine wine. That's exactly how he said it, wasn't it, Scott? Thank you. Yeah, I think it just looks pucker on the speed lines, lowered a little bit on the gas coilovers. It's good. It's very good. Usability, same as previous ones we've done. 7 out of 10, because you'd be worried. Like, these cars are so rare. Main reason that they're rare is because they dissolve, the metal worm gets into them and they just rot away. That's why these cars are so rare now. I mean, if somebody drove into you or something happened, it'd be very hard to source the parts and you'd be gutted. So yeah, unfortunately, a Nova's there to be driven, but it's one of those cars which is, like most things which are worth lots of money now, has now become a dry weather car, but I'm okay with that. 7 out of 10. Driving experience. 8 out of 10. That is high, but I was going to score it higher, but we've got to be honest. We've got to. It's a review series. We always say it, but that's only because my legs. I've got to get my leg through a gap that big if I clutch into fifth between the steering wheel and the gear stick, which I think is character. But at the same time, if you're trying to drive a car hard, that could be a little bit of an issue. But everything else, I'm so fizzy. Yeah, 8 out of 10. So good. It's a very good car. We're having a good time today. Value. Value's high, 9 out of 10. Like, you can pick up a Nova, like a GSI, something like that, an SRI, anywhere from 10 to 15 grand. If you want a more special one, i.e. this, it's going to be a little bit more money, but you're still looking at under 20 grand for a car which is super rare. Everyone loves, like, we've had people like pointing, waving, looking at it and stuff today, which is really cool. And when you come back to the fact it's a Nova, that makes it even cooler. I think it's amazing, like, to get that buzz, that fizzle in your tinkle from 10 to 18 grand, let's say, that's cheap. That's really cheap. And that's only going to go up in money. Like, again, they are stupidly rare. And to get that driving experience for that money, I think it's just, that's cheap. That's cheap fun. Phone's locked again. Right, so overall, that gives us an 8 out of 10, but got a bit of a theme coming now, 8 out of 10. But I have had such a good time today. I feel, as normal, incredibly lucky to be able to drive these cars, which are like, it's a bit before my time really, but a childhood hero. But yeah, any cars you see that you want us to do a review on, let us know. What did you think of this video? What's your favourite Vauxhall? I think my favourite Vauxhall's a Nova, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe, hit the notification button, tell a friend to tell a friend, and we shall see you on the next one. Thank you, everybody.